You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network.
Siblings, we're back.
Hi.
I'm guessing let me look at the calendar. We're 10. Yeah, this will be about the last mini we have before we come back. Sounds about right, I think.
That sounds about right.
This is the end of the month. We're doing things. We're preparing. Be back in August.
Yes. Right around the corner.
Yeah. And I know, it didn't take long. But hey, we're hopefully rested, recharged, and ready to go. We just needed it. My brain needed it, and it's fine.
You for sure. You're a busy bee.
Yeah.
We're so opposite. Nobody needs anything out of me or anything for my time. I have a pretty easygoing life these days.
I'll be honest with you. There are days, and I think this is actually part of what we'll talk about here today. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There are days that I think about packing it in. There are days that I'm just like, well, what do I want to do? And it's not that I don't enjoy doing this.
Oh yeah.
It's the brain power to do this along with other things that I'm doing, and sometimes I just feel like I don't have me time.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's necessary. I don't, anyone tells you that you don't need, that you're being selfish for doing stuff for you. If you've done stuff for other people and you want to take a moment for yourself, you have every right to do so.
And you need to.
Yeah.
You got to recollect and recharge. And it's exhausting if you're giving everything for everyone all the time,
Right. So be selfish every once in a while. Do stuff for yourself.
Once in a while. That's the key
not all
we've got to hone in on here. Some people take that a little too seriously. But every once in a while, yes.
If you feel mentally drained, do something for you. What do you want to do? If someone is trying to prevent you from doing that, then assess that problem.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's kind of where I'm at, because I look at, we're talking a couple episodes back about adulting and stuff. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like I want to take a little extra time for that. And because it's, I want to have a nice home that I can be proud of. And, sometimes I want to take the little extra time putting it into it, but it can be exhausting,
Sure.
And I don't want to kill myself doing all that, but, I do want to work on it when I can. And it's just little things like that, and I just trying to find the time to do it and making the time to do it. So, not to say that we're going to talk about quitting. That's not what we're talking about here today.
I know it sounds like that, right? They're like, are they saying goodbye?
No,
well, hopefully you're sad if you thought that.
Yeah. I mean, hell, looking at our audience size on Anchor,
yeah. Well, thank you.
We have a following.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate everybody who's listening.
My babies.
So, and if we got,
sorry, just trying to steal them.
If we got more people just from the move, I mean, damn.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Well, that's what
I'm one of those websites that maybe more people did go to.
And that's what I'm curious about too, because I've noticed that. So I don't want to just like bounce out as soon as we made the move.
hey, welcome all of you. Bye. We're done now. You scared me.
We already told you we're coming back next week, so chill out. No, Lace and I have been having a discussion in the background.
Yeah.
And I felt like it would be fun or maybe insightful to talk about it here.
Bring it into the family.
Right. So we're bringing it up to you, the siblings, and maybe get some feedback. We do love video games.
Yes.
We really do.
Much.
And we enjoy playing them. But we have maybe...
I think
explain.
I've tired a little of news.
Yeah.
Just writing and informing the news. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I think maybe just the AAA space might have helped kill it a little bit. Just constantly feel like when I'm looking up the news, it's something awful instead of fun. And maybe I just didn't have the love for teaching people gaming news. anymore. Maybe I love the gaming space, and I think that's why I started kind of catering it more towards what news do I feel like talking about with my best friend in gaming, which I don't know if anyone kind of noticed that over this last season, that I kind of just, if it was important to talk about, of course. But otherwise, I just kind of cherry picked around to stuff that was interesting to me that I felt like would be fun to talk with Steven about.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't hit everything that would happen that week. Not because I didn't acknowledge it happened. I just maybe didn't care or didn't think it was fun to chat about with you. So I think that's where I'm at. It's just the digging through and wanting to write and inform the news, and shoot, how quickly it can change, or it not being relevant by the time we put it out because it changed over Sunday night or something. And you're just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe journalism just wasn't in my bones, in that regard.
And not only that, I mean, there's a level of toxicity that we see in the gaming industry that gets old, man.
It really does. And I'm very aware of the fact that it's the ones who complain are the loudest. Mm-hmm. And that the majority of people are happy in their space, do buy the games they like, do ignore the games they don't. But unfortunately, we're just content and we sit here silent about it because we don't feel we need to go complain. So I know it's the loudest voices kind of, unfortunately, killing the vibe.
Yeah.
Good example. Look how they're treating the Return of Monkey Island developer right now.
Right.
I'm sick to my stomach when I saw how people got all over his blog and just down trashing the art style and trash my childhood and these death threats and all this. He's now said he's no longer going to provide updates to the game because of this, and I don't blame him.
No.
Why would you want to be putting your baby constantly out there that you were excited to tell us about, and then you're only getting that negativity back? Humans can only take so much, no matter how thick-skinned they are.
Yeah.
When it's constantly being fired at you that way. And you should be ashamed of yourself. If you are the type of person who thinks that's correct or a joke,
yeah,
I'm still excited for it. Is it the art style I was expecting? No. Of course my brain went back to the originals that I played, as a very young teenager or whatever. Did it make me so angry I thought he should die? Think about that, people. I know I'm preaching to the crowd here. All of our siblings have agreed. I haven't heard any of them bucking back going, no, they deserve that. So I know but it's just disappointing. It's supposed to be a fun hobby that we enjoy. And it's so serious. So serious. Why does it have to be real life consequences?
So many entitled little shits out there who cannot just be happy with what they have.
And just not even realizing how amazing it is.
Yeah.
We don't even... honestly, do we deserve another Monkey Island at this point?
No.
I mean, the rest of us who were quiet, and I still believe in the majority, that we're not sending him death threats. We are excited. And I hope they leave you alone. I hope you and your team could still have fun with the vision you had, because we're going to not have it.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't blame him.
No,
Yeah,
I don't either. And it's sad because he was probably very much looking forward to constantly giving us updates. Sure. And then that small vocal few had to just trash it for the rest of us. It's always someone who has to ruin it for all, right? So,
but yeah, it's that kind of stuff that has gotten us in this funk, and we're not really sure what approach we can take for the future, and that's where we're kind of at. Do we want to continue to talk video games? Do we want to change format completely? If we do stick to video games, what can we do to make it fun?
Right.
Because I really do enjoy the storytelling of stuff from the past.
Right.
I've actually pulled a few new elements that I've recently learned that I thought would be fun to share here. And I probably will over the next couple of weeks. But it's, as I've just mentioned up top, I'm busy. Yeah. Busy. And that takes time and work and research and efforts to do all this and write it to then share it with you. And if I had a dedicated research team and a writer and someone who could do all this for me, and then I can kind of tweak it to my voice, then it would be perfect. But we don't have that. Right. So I want to share these things with you, and I feel that they're a lot of fun.
They are.
Most of the time.
I think you do a phenomenal job at putting them together and making it fun. It's always fun story time, even for me, y'all. I don't know what it is before we start recording, so I get to learn it along with y'all.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And it's one of the joys I like bringing to the show, because if I can inform, and I know most of the time a lot of this stuff is out there, but maybe you've never heard of it or you didn't see it,
or a tidbit you didn't know before.
Yeah. So something just comes through and you're like, huh, okay, cool.
Or you just love how Steven tells stories. Also valid.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
So if there's some element to that we can reformat the show with, that's what we'd like to do. But we're kind of at an impasse because we don't know what to do. Yeah.
And is it okay for us to just sit here and bullshit for an hour and a half, a coffee table talk situation with some coffee around the thing? Or even I'd probably be more excited to we play the same game and maybe chat about it, where we're just talking about the game and I don't have to, and maybe an indie game, so we don't have to feel, that's the thing,
Yeah.
It's like, are you taking care of your dabs? Am I supporting the right thing? It's just starting to feel dumpy.
Right. And I guess another thing too that I'm concerned about is, we are one of many video game podcasts.
Sure.
I'm sure. Now, do all these others have a format like ours? I don't know.
No.
I know that there are certain ones. There's a group that I actually want to have them on our show, or at least the progenitor of it all. The Super Switch Club, which is over at the We Can Make This Work Probably podcast network.
Yeah, they're great over there.
Our
they have fun
wonderful Podcasters Assemble group is over there. Same format, but with video games. Ooh,
interesting. Yeah.
Same in the sense that it's
like kind of an assemble, but with games.
Yeah, a Podcasters Assemble like podcast focused on a video game. And I think they break it down through levels. So if they were playing like Star Fox, here's level 1, here's level 2, so on and so forth. So that's a format. It's something unique and different to video games. Granted, it's similar in style to another, but understandable. It's having a similar style but with a different topic.
Yeah.
So what could we do that would be different? Because there may be others out there that like to just focus in on one game or hone in on one game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's... If we work it out here, great. If we don't, but maybe that's what we're also doing, talking to the siblings. We're kind of passing it off to you. And if there's an idea, someone out there, because I know David will have one.
Always good for that. But they're always creative and fun.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not knocking that.
Yeah.
I posed this question out there just to hear. It's like, David, what you got, buddy?
Yeah. We've kind of discussed it too. Like, should it stay games? Would it be okay for something else? Was that the draw? Or was it just us? Were we just fun and you guys just liked tuning in to hear our banter? Because we have a lot of fun just sitting here BSing with each other. And hopefully that translates well when you're listening. Just hanging out with a couple of friends, chatting about stuff,
if the mini format works best for everybody, then shit, we can just do that. We can knock out 3 minis a week.
Do like the whole thing in one day. Yeah.
So
or like I even thought about just like current topics. I'm not even a pop culture person per se. Maybe that would be interesting. I just saw what was trending on Twitter, and then I do no research, and I try to pretend like I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And talk about it with you all. If the one thing the internet likes is to correct people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, and try to learn pop culture since I don't dive into anyone's outside life because I don't care after you're off my screen what you're doing. Maybe I should a little bit more with some of these people. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't, because I just thought about it, and I hope he's not disappointed in me. But sitting here talking about video game, Troidal Power, we just had on. He's got a lovely podcast, and his format is playing the game.
Which was very different. I had not heard of that before. Hand to God. It was the first time I had heard of someone doing it in a podcast form that way. And it was interesting.
Yeah, so he's playing the game and talking about it while he's playing the game and recording his podcast. So it's a playthrough podcast, just like his name implies.
Yes.
And it's unique.
It is.
Works for him. And I like that. So I don't want to rip anybody off. I don't want to try to emulate. And like you said, if people are here just for us, then to hell with video games. We'll toss that right in the bin. I could care less.
Right, yeah. And still love it. It could still be a topic
at
some point, you know.
It just gets mixed in with the other pop culture stuff that we want to bring up in the time.
So I guess I would just be here. Would you be interested if I'm like, hey, this is just what I felt like talking about with my friend this week. And it doesn't even matter what the topic would be. It could be all over the place. Maybe not necessarily bringing politics into it, because my God, we need moments where we're just not talking about that anymore. But because I do kind of miss those days where it wasn't always at the tip of everyone's tongue. But yeah, I don't know, something like that. I see some really crazy, weird story.
I mean, in the pop culture world, you can't tell me there's not something every week that we could just pull from and be like, oh my God, let's talk about that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what? I just saw something a moment ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's do a taste. What do we got?
Apparently, the CW just handed off all of its DC stuff to Nextstar for,
Who's that?
I don't know, but you know how much they paid?
Oh, God. I hope a decent amount.
$0.
What?
Yeah, that's what the headline said. $0.
They just handed it off. Did Ezra really screw him up that bad?
Well, this is the TV
They're like,
division.
I need out of all this whole thing.
This seemed to be the TV division, so like the CW stuff.
Okay.
But still, that's like $0.
$0 though.
To
Nextstar?
Wait,
so all the CW DC properties, so the Flash, Marvel, or not Marvel. Yeah, I know. As soon as I came out of my mouth,
words.
The thing here.
Yeah, that hole in your face.
Sounds come out and supposedly words form, so you can understand me. Zero.
I don't know.
I don't
know. I don't know the implication. I just read the headline, so there may be more to it than that. It sounds like a cable company.
It does. It's got to be
like Comcast.
Right. Nextstar Media Group, a leading local media company. Oh, that's not helpful. Oh, Canadian.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. They film all that stuff up there.
Oh, that's true. They do film a lot up there.
Why not?
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
Well, they're interesting. I need to know more. Why 0?
I don't know.
Why 0?
Okay, I got another topic for you. Or I got another.
Oh, wait, I was a liar. It says across America. I'm confused. Nextstar team is comprised of over 12,400 employees across America, united by a common vision, a commitment to localism, and a passion for professional excellence.
Good for them.
They produce over 283,000 hours of local programming a year.
Good
Look at that. That's a lot of time spent putting stuff in our eye holes.
Sure.
So there you go. That's Nextstar Media Group.
Okay.
All over America.
Now they own
now they
DC
stuff, or DC
TV stuff
Jesus
or whatever.
I know what I'm trying to say.
So that, there you go. That's a topic we could research. I've got another one that's often another realm, but it's a recommendation. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't know if you will, but I feel like you would.
Okay.
I feel like you would.
Let's do it.
Have you heard of a podcast called Dispatches from Myrtle Beach?
No.
Okay. This features Link Neal from Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, okay.
Talking to his father.
Oh boy.
On a podcast.
I know how that kind of is.
Yeah.
The dynamic now. Ooh, okay. So just him having conversations with his dad.
Yeah, just pretty much saying,
okay.
Hey Dad, how's it going? What are you doing? And then his dad he doesn't quite understand
Well, is it
all the podcasting stuff.
Sure. And probably just that YouTube world, too.
Right. So he's,
And there's a religious barrier there.
Not like you'd think.
Really? Okay.
Not in this podcast. Let's just put it that way.
That's what I was wondering. I was hoping it wasn't going to turn into all that. Okay.
No, this is just like a son checking in on his dad and just seeing how he's doing. So there's 3 episodes thus far that I have listened to. Mm-hmm. And you can see that his father, Charles, is trying to find, because he's not tech savvy, or at least that's the kind of person.
How it comes off anyway, or...
But the beauty of the podcast for me, and other people might be annoyed by it, but I can't get enough of it, is his dad's voice. I love listening to the man speak.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
very country. He come from deep south, so he talks like this, and it's very deep.
Yeah.
So he said, y'all come on down to South Carolina, come on down to Myrtle Beach, and we gonna hang out with you.
But you can still understand him, though.
You can understand him. You can understand him just
well,
fine.
I don't know. All my family's from deep South Mississippi. It's a real struggle. I have to, almost close my eyes and hone in to hear every individual word to try to pick it apart because it's so slow and so thick where I'm like, talking to him on the phone, forget it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's like you can still hear him. That's good. You know what he's saying.
But he's just the sweetest type of person. And when you listen to, you can hear how proud he is of his son.
Well, I think
that's
done
one
really
of that's one of the beauties of it, because apparently he goes around and he'll talk to people and be like, you know who I am? And they're just like, some people look at him. And that's why he'll approach them. It's like if they're eyeballing him, like he said, I think they know who I am. So I go up to him and say, y'all know who I am? And it's like, I think I know who you are. He's like, do you know who my son is, Link, on Good Mythical Morning? They're like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm his dad. And then they take pictures and stuff like that. And he just does that kind of stuff. He's done ads on those podcasts. And they're not ads for, they're not getting paid for them. But it's for local businesses within Myrtle Beach that he apparently goes to. Oh. And he's just like, hey, y'all want to come hang out with me? Y'all come on down here and get some food. This is good stuff down here.
That's so cute. I don't
y'all
know
just
why
come on down.
It's making me smile.
Yeah, it's like I said, it will make you happy. Mm-hmm. It's such a pure podcast. Yeah. They're just talking. They're just having fun. It's 30 minutes at most, so it's not a big chunk out of your time. I'm having fun with it. I love listening to him talk, his dad, and the best part about it is before they started the podcast or really kicked it off, they asked people to send emails to his dad, and trying to get questions.
Get him up to at least email speed.
Yeah. So they had stuff. So it's mailbag questions and jokes and whatever, because his dad he tells dad jokes. He told one on,
hit me with it.
I'm trying to think. He told one on Good Mythical Morning. I can't remember. Screw it, I can't remember.
Dang. All right.
Anyway,
it's fine. I can't judge you. I forget everything.
it was a very dad joke, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, his email address.
I threw a watch so I could see time fly.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it had something to do with dirt and archaeology or something like that, but I can't remember. Anyway, his email address. Are you ready?
Oh, gosh. Yes. Hit me.
ratherbeshaggin52 at AOL.com.
At AOL.com.
Yeah. Now, shagging is not what you think.
Okay, what does he say it means?
Because that was a conversation they had in the very first episode.
Well, I mean, Austin Powers probably screwed that up. Yeah.
And that's what Link said. He's like, so are you aware of the implication of what shagging means, or what most people assume it means?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I'm I've heard what people think. He said, but where I'm from, he said, when I grew up, shagging mean dancing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So
yeah.
To him, that's what that implies.
But
it's
not
just
to the rest
going
of
out
the
dancing.
world.
So
or America, at least. Like, I don't know how far reaching it is, but.
right. So he was talking, and like the conversation they had is asking, do you shag with, like, do you go shagging a lot?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I go down to the club. We shag. I shag a lot of women down there too. And he's like, so you shag with other women? And he's like, yeah, your mom don't seem to care none. It's fine. She's like, she lets me shag with other women. It's like, we need to stop saying it like that because people are going to get confused.
Right? They're going to be writing your mom letters. You need
Right.
to get out, man. He's shagging all these women.
So
Well, when you cut a rug, if you remember, on the shag carpet, see, there you go.
there you go. That's what it is.
I had old parents. What can I tell you?
Bam.
Yep.
You should have heard that. Never heard him say shagging and just be shagging in the kitchen?
Well, no, I mean, now it is in my head that, it means the other thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
But-
But yeah, that's my podcast recommendation. If you're just looking for something short and sweet, like our minis that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's so pure and just
It does sound wholesome and just smile. Like, just bring a smile.
he had a joke. Now this was not a dad joke, and I'm trying to think. No, I won't say it.
Oh.
I'll let them say it
You let
because it's on the pod.
Let
It's
them-
not a bad joke.
Let them deal with it.
Yeah, it's not a bad joke, or I don't feel like it's offensive. I could be wrong.
I don't know. You probably built it up to be worse now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think they would have put it in there if it was offensive. You know what I mean?
Or
I mean,
knew
Rhett
it
and Link,
was.
they're
Sometimes I find out later on, like, oh, didn't know that's
Well, see,
what it meant.
they even had that conversation where his dad was like, I don't know if I want to say it, and he's like, well, if it's bad, then we'll take it out. And by the time the joke was over, I was like, no, I think that was all right. Yeah, I think it was fine.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure it could rub the wrong way.
I have
follow.
found that that's most anybody these days because they search for the reason to be mad instead of just accepting it at, it was just meant as a throwaway joke or something.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, I'm going to put a lot of meaning into your words
Yep.
that you didn't actually mean because in my filter of a brain, that's exactly what you meant.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's
So
exhausting.
yeah, So as you can see, we can go off topic. We can talk about anything.
I think
we
they're
could
used
talk
to us
about,
probably doing that every week already anyway.
but with it, but we have kind of toyed around with it. Like at the beginning of the pod, we like to
Yeah.
use that as kind of our moment
Like,
to just
things we just wanted to chat about.
yeah.
beforehand.
Maybe it's not just pop culture stuff. Maybe we got something on our mind.
Yeah.
I know in the past we've had minis where I've been frustrated at work and I just wanted to vent. And
I needed to vent not long ago.
yeah. So it can be anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really more about our dynamic, which
Because
I've
I
always
have fun with them every week.
I do too. It's one of
lot
the
of fun.
highlights
Yeah.
of my week.
We could sit here and
And
just bullshit forever.
in all honesty,
Mm-hmm.
that has always been the what's the word I'm looking for here? Compliment, I guess. For some reason, compliment doesn't seem to be the right
feedback,
term, but
or maybe
the feedback,
maybe
yeah.
the feedback we've received does seem to steer that way, which is kind of what made me think maybe we should lean into it a little bit more
Yeah.
outside of the structure we had with the mini we talked about a couple weeks ago about like how
Yeah.
the show's evolved and stuff. So I was trying to lean into that, but now I'm not sure I want to continue with just news or game journalism, I guess.
Right.
Is the point. It's not that I hate games or talking about games. I just don't know that I have the love for the journalism side of it.
Yeah. We I guess are posing the question to all of you siblings. If we were to make a change,
Well, I mean, even if it isn't their cup of tea, I guess if we're thinking it might be something fun, give it a shot. And if you
Yeah.
don't love it, then, that sucks, but that's life. Like, you should listen to what you find fun and entertaining.
I mean, perhaps we could just get some sort of feedback. If you say, hey, I'd love to hear you just talk about a game, or maybe just all things pop culture, or I don't care what you talk about, just as long as you're there, we can make it work. We can twist it around. I've already got, this is how my brain works. I can't help it. I've already got a name picked out if we change the format.
Ooh, but should we say it now?
No.
You don't want to, we can't say too much of all the things we've planned
because
ahead of time.
Because I can't help it. I can't help planning ahead just in case.
You're very good at it, and I am very poor at it. So it was very interesting when I started writing the news. I was like, oh no. I'll admit, now granted, I should have pulled more weight. I will bust myself out here because I didn't really know what to do or anything before when I was first on the show. I literally just woke up and showed up, guys. But I was just fine. Steven tells me things, and then I talk with him, and then he tells me more things, and then we finish it up, and I send him audio. So it was fair for me to do more. It was fair.
That's where this dynamic started working out a lot, because it helps to have a podcasting partner that's contributing. And
oh, sure. Yeah, I could only imagine how frustrated you may have been, even though you were too kind to say anything about it. Because, that was a lot of work.
It was, and with other podcasts that I'm also doing, Horror Ramblings, which is the other ongoing podcast that I have, and probably one of the main reasons that I have not set forth on reviving a third. That
my God, man, you're
out
doing
there.
All this
because if I know that I'm going to have to do bulk of the work along with this,
sure.
I kind of get...
Well, you have things right now that you are interested in focusing on creatively.
Sure.
So, that makes sense to me. That you'd want to keep doing the things right now and then not trying to stretch yourself so then all things are mediocre.
Right. And see, and that's with Horror Ramblings, Lester is pretty much taking care of the editing and all that.
Well, that's good.
So that's something I don't have to worry about. He comes up with the topics. He'll listen to suggestions if I have any.
He kind of wanted to do it though anyway, right?
Right.
Well, I'm not saying you didn't, but more of yeah. So that would make sense to try to be like, here, I'm showing you what I want to do with it. Yeah. So that's
and
good.
that was kind of the condition that I had. Same with Cinema Salsa, and probably one of the reasons it's not going right now is
you weren't wanting to do more.
I was just like, no. I don't mind recording. But that's as far as I can go right now, because I've got this is my baby.
Right.
This is our baby, and I don't want, this is where my time has got to be spent.
Yeah.
So making sure it's fine. As long as it's fine, I'm taking care of it. This is a brand now. This is everywhere. And not to say that I don't want to take care of Horror Ramblings or Cinema Salsa, but these ideas were pitched.
This was your idea brought to life. You started it from scratch.
And I've built it. I've built it. So Horror Ramblings and Cinema Salsa are two additional podcasts that were pitched to me. I'm helping cater to and make sure that they are...
Because it was still topics you'd be interested in chatting about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mind helping get it put together, as far as cinema, or, even both of them, for that matter. With Horror Ramblings, when Lester's done with the edit, he sends it to me. I give it the once over, just making sure everything's intact. Doing producer stuff, and then I get it uploaded and put it together. And
that was fair, because I think you mentioned it wasn't quite as refined on the editing and producing and stuff end. So he wanted to do it. And then you're teaching and showing when you hear it back, maybe how to tweak things, and then he'll be better, which I hope was the goal from him. He wanted to learn it.
We had an episode, it was a few back, and I can't remember which particular episode it was. And I'm not even going to say, because in this way, people who are listening, you can try to figure it out. But it was probably one of the one times, and if he's listening right now, I hope he understands I'm not angry. Just understand where I'm at.
Right.
Okay?
I hope so, but I don't know him.
I'm talking...
I met him. You're lovely.
No. This is not an anger, topic or anything like that. This is producer talk. This is producer hat. When I say I wear a producer hat, I take it seriously.
Try to be objective and look at it. Yeah.
So I have to do that. I don't want to put out inferior content. So if
I do know about you. Yeah.
If we did this here and something was wrong with the audio and it sounded horrid, I'm just going to be like, we're going to have to punt or do something, because I'm not putting that out.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. Because no one's going to listen to that.
It's rough if the audio's... Well, I mean, that's all you get in a pod, right? So the audio should be good.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was an episode that he sent me, and when I listened to it, it started off fine. And then I heard my audio, and I sounded like shit. And I was like,
weird.
What happened? And I was confused. I was like, why do I sound terrible?
Yeah.
And then I went back to the audio file that I sent him, and it was clean, and it was good. And I was like, what's going on? So I asked, I was like, what?
Something get corrupted in the transfer? Or?
Yeah, I said, so did my file not come over? What happened? Why do I sound like garbage? Uh-huh. And we had kind of a conversation about it to where it was just something got lost in the mix. And I was like, no way.
And like tried to fix it. And
yeah, like I'm not posting this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I went and replaced all of my audio with the clean audio, fixed it, and boom.
Yeah.
Now we have an episode that sounds more consistent to what I was wanting.
Right.
Now, again, not knocking him and his ability
Maybe you
or
didn't
whatever.
know how to fix it. And
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't want to bother you because I'm like, I told Steven I could do this. Like I could kind of, all the things that would have been going through my head.
Sure. and I think he uses Audacity
That's
to
what I
edit.
use. Oh,
Yeah.
to edit? I don't know. Yeah. I've seen people be amazing with that. So it's a very capable tool if you know all of the bells and whistles.
I don't know anything about it. I've got my own software that I
Sure.
use, and it's a hell of a lot more refined in my opinion.
Well, you
Like,
pay for yours.
Yeah.
You're a pro. Yeah, you got the pro tool. So I don't know that I would throw out the money for that. But I don't use it like you do. So it makes
Right.
sense. Yeah.
So for everything that I use, I mean, even now, having like because there was a point, like if I gave all this up, like if I just said, no, I don't want to podcast anymore, and then why am I paying for that? I would let it,
Sure.
lapse.
What would you
but
do it for?
now that I'm doing the Joe Blow videos, shit, it pays for itself now. Mm-hmm. So I can take that money, and that's a payment for a year.
Yeah.
And then I've still got, 3 for the...
Yeah.
So I'm good with it now.
Yeah.
So now I've got something to pay for it. But it's a tool that I think works for me, and then I can make it sound better. And that was kind of the point, is I couldn't bring myself to post that. And again, I wasn't knocking him.
I'm sure he would have understood though that it was for for quality. It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with,
And I'll give him credit. He's stubborn on his editing, and because
Oh,
I've
I
told
wonder
him,
where he gets that from.
no. This is because I've told him, he knows I'm busy, and I appreciate that he respects that.
Right.
I appreciate that so much. So Lester, if you're listening, I appreciate
Yeah.
your understanding how busy I can be. That said, I can make room. I will adjust. If Lace says, hey, could we shift this or do that? I'm going to accommodate, because she accommodates me so wonderfully, I can do the same.
Right.
He's had a lot going on in his personal life.
So two busy
And-
people.
And
Yeah.
I get that. Life happens.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, if something happens and you can't finish an edit, pass it along and I'll take care of it. It's not a problem. I said, there are times that I'm not going to have the time, especially the weeks that I have to work on the Joe Blow stuff. My time is, that is a week that I will have zero time. I can tell you that 100%.
Yeah. And that's fair.
The other 3 weeks out of the month, I can accommodate. I can
You're
make
a team still. Yeah.
Yeah, I can move stuff around. So I've told him numerous times, if you're too busy, if something comes up, pass it my way. I'll knock it out. As you can see, I do this every week.
Yeah.
With our podcast.
You somehow turn it around overnight every time. Yeah.
I don't have a problem doing it. And he's refused to do so. Not that he's like, no, absolutely not. It's mine. It's more like, no, I'll get it. And he does. But
Probably just a little more chill about it than you do, so it makes you a little anxious. That's just a personality thing you'll probably have to deal with.
well, the episode that came out was July 2nd. Okay? I didn't get that posted until like after midnight. Okay?
Oh, damn.
Keep that in mind. Because that's how down to the wire it was.
Yeah.
Because he was so busy. But and I'm not saying that he was being stubborn for refusing to let me edit or anything. He had a lot going on that day.
He just really wanted to do it for you,
He did.
Steven.
And he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
He did an absolutely wonderful job. So I hope he's listening and understands. I appreciate everything that he does.
Like I
really
feel that from that angle. Now I don't want to speak for him. Obviously, I don't know if he's really in his head. Well, fuck you. You know, like I don't know. But I'm led to believe that is not the case. So
No.
I'm sure you would have said by now, and
Sure.
it's always been lovely. So
No. Everything's good over there, and like I said, we're probably on a summer break over there as well because it's all in July.
right.
So if there's no
Everything.
content over there, go catch up on all that stuff too because
Right.
I needed a break, and I don't know if we're gonna have any summer content or not. If we have, then you've probably heard it. If not,
We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't
I don't
know
know
what's
what
happened.
happened. I don't know what's happened. 'Cause this is different from that other show. I don't know what's happening over there
I
right
don't know
now.
what's going on.
But I guess we've rambled on long enough. Haha, because
Look at that.
Yeah.
Segue ish.
siblings, we would appreciate some feedback of any kind, whatever
if
you
not,
like, dislike, ideas.
I might just try it and see.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
and
might.
that's probably, I mean, honestly, that's how any content you'll find out whether it works or not is just the bravery to put it out there
Yeah,
and see what sticks. You know,
Sure.
I just know that I don't think I will be as happy continually looking up game journalism every
Sure.
week is the only thing.
if nothing else, if we just deviate ever so slightly, maybe we'll keep the game format and find another way to approach games from a more positive light. If that doesn't seem to work, then maybe we'll shift to more open pop culture.
Just
Ramblings
whatever the
of whatever.
crap comes into our head that day.
Yeah.
Because clearly we can pull on that thread and
Oh, yeah,
dismantle the whole blanket. in
We've
no time
probably
flat.
went well beyond a mini.
We always try, though. I hope you guys know we do look at the clock and then we go, nah.
Nah.
But I kind of want to say this thing.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so siblings, we've taken enough of your time. We hope you've enjoyed your summer. We will be
Yes.
back next week with a regular Super Mega
Something.
Crash Brothers Turbo show.
I'm joking. I don't know. I'll keep you wondering.
And then we'll figure this out at some point.
But I think it was good. We just wanted to let our family know what was kind of going through our head right now.
Yeah.
As far as how we were feeling with the I don't know, I guess the meat of the content that we
Sure.
were putting out. So I'm still going to keep playing my games.
Sure.
It might only be indie. I don't know. It's just,
It's where it's at.
I want to support them, but I don't want to support the cog that's treating them so poorly. It's a really hard line to toe.
Yeah, no.
It's like not buying the game kind of poops in their face for all the hard work that they did and all of the abuse they went through. But if I keep giving them that money, is that just still feeding that treatment to these people?
Sure.
You know, it's freaking cycle. Anyway, I'm going to start rambling again. So you better say that's our show because
That is our show. We'll be back next week. Goodbye, siblings. Hope you've enjoyed your summer and our minis. And we'll see you then.
we'll see you soon.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.